So, welcome back, guys. Today, again, we are going to work on the AWS code pipelines, and we are going to see how we can deploy a small website via AWS code pipeline, where we would be working on AWS code commit. With that, we would be also working on AWS build, AWS deploy, where we are going to deploy the website and the application over the Elastic Beanstalk. So let's go to AWS code commit. Here, just click on this AWS code commit. And what exactly is code commit? Code commit is like your Git and GitHub, where you are, it's an online repository, yeah, like your GitHub, where you will save your code onto an online system. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I will be creating a repository here. Okay, so repository name is, let's say, test repo 1. If you want to put any description, so you can put the description also. Now, if you want to enable test Amazon Code Guru, which is basically the quality assurance, it checks the quality of your code, you can enable it. Otherwise, you can leave it like that. Just create the repository there itself. Now, you can directly connect this particular repository with your system, where you can just clone it via HTTPS. That we are going to look at in the different video. But for now, I will be just going and uploading a small file here. So I will be just creating a file, or I can just upload it. Anything I can do. Let me just create a file. Let's say hello world. Okay, and the file would be index.html. Okay, author is my name. Email, I will just put my email ID. And here you can just say created, the commit message would be created index.html file. Perfect. Now what I can do is I can just directly commit this. Now, after committing this, when you go to the repository, you will see a repository is being created for you, and the file is there inside that particular repository. We are working on the main branch. Okay. So yes, we are working on the main branch here. You can even clone your repository, clone via SSH, HTTPS, and directly clone it with your system. And like when you would be pushing the code from your local system to code commit, you would be able to do it. For that, we have created a different video, and I would be sharing that particular video with you as well. Now, the repository is being created. Let's go and create a pipeline. Okay. So here itself, when you go down, you will see a pipeline. Okay. So create a pipeline. Now, when you create a pipeline, you will see something like this. A pipeline name, you can put it as test pipeline. Okay, you can put it as a test pipeline. Now, what service role you are looking forward to? New service role, fine. The service role name. So basically it is an IAM role which would be created here. So new IAM role would be created. Okay, click on next. Now, when you click on next, it will ask you for the source provider. So my source provider is the code commit. Okay, AWS code commit is my source provider. So now it's asking for the repository. So my repository is test repository 1. My branch is main branch. And I would be keeping as Amazon CloudWatch events as recommended, and output artifacts. It would be save everything. It would be saving it in the code pipeline itself. Click on next. Now, where you want to build it. Now, this is a bit tricky here. Exactly, you need to, whenever you're building a particular code, you need to create or give some specification into YAML. Okay, for now, I will be skipping it, but I will be showing you how to build a particular code. We would be putting a step in the pipeline, and then we would be even editing the pipeline. And if we want to add a particular stage between the pipeline, we would be able to do it as well. For now, I will be just clicking on the next here. Okay. Skip pipeline. So we need to click on the skip pipeline. Where exactly you want to deploy? I want to deploy in elastic beanstalk. Now, if you're just selecting this elastic beanstalk, you will see the region, that not Virginia. But we have not created any kind of application on elastic beanstalk till now. So I will just go to elastic beanstalk. Okay. In a new tab. Let me create a new environment, or we just click on this elastic beanstalk on this side and create an application test. Now let's say this is my test app. Okay. Now which platform you want to use? So I would be using PHP because it's an index file. So PHP on PHP it would be able to work without any kind of problem. Now sample application. So yes, I would be uploading the sample application here. So create an application. If you want to select your VPC, if you have some custom VPC, and if you want to select your own VPC, you can just click on this configure more options and you can select your VPC and lot many things. Okay, you can just check it out. For now, I'm just keeping everything as default and I would be creating an application. Now, for this application to be created, it will take around 10 minutes. Also, the environment would also be created against this particular application. And now when this application would be live, it would be deploying a particular EC2 machines, load balancers, auto scaling, lot many things it would be deploying, and it will create an environment where we can host our application, which we have created like index.html file. And this is how we will be automating all our complete process. So let me just hold for some time. It will take 10 minutes. So let me hold for that much time and then we will continue ahead. As we have seen here, my elastic beanstalk, my PHP application is now live. I can just show it to you as well. When you click on the link, you will see congratulations, your elastic beanstalk PHP application is now live. Perfectly fine. I would be just coming here. There is no refresh option, so I will just click on this previous. Again, skip build stage, skip it. And here I would be selecting elastic beanstalk. An application name, it would be test app, and the environment would be test app environment, which I have created here. Okay, fine. Now I will just click on this next. Okay, I would be clicking on this next and I would be creating a pipeline. Now you will see first it will take it from the source and then it will try to deploy it. Let's see if it is able to deploy it or not. So let me just pause it for that much duration. So you can see that now it is basically the deployment is also done. So our deployment is also done. Now if you go or if you click here onto the elastic beanstalk, it would be taking you to this particular link. Now again, if you want to open this URL, you can just check this URL and you can see the website is being deployed here. Now if you make any kind of changes to the source, let's say if you make some changes, for example, if you are putting and if you're adding some content and putting some content here, let's say, let me just edit it. Congratulations, author. I will just put my name. I will just put the email ID and this test and commit the changes. Now, when I commit the changes, let's see if these changes are deployed onto my pipeline or not. Okay, if these changes are being see automatically, if this execution will change to in progress. Now, if you go here, you will see now the deployment is again happening, and when I refresh it after some time, you will see congratulations is also would be coming up here. So let it first build it. So after like deploying it, so after this is being deployed, you will see it is being updated on the elastic beanstalk as well. So let's wait for it to get updated. So as we can see now, it is being deployed and this is being succeeded. So if you come back here and open this, you will see congratulations getting added. But now the main question comes up, how we will build a particular code. So what we are going to do is we are going to build, go to the build. You can just directly click on this getting started. So build and test the code with elastic scaling. Pay only for the build you use. So whenever we are building the code, then only we have to make the payment. Otherwise, there is no payment that need to be made here. So let's create a project. Now, when you're creating the project, you can just put a project name, let's say test build. So this is an optional. If you want to put a enable any build badge, you can enable it. My source would be my course code commit. You can even use Git as your source or Bitbucket as your source. There is no problem in that. Now the branch is would be my main branch. Okay, fine. Okay. The commit ID, we don't have to do it for a specific commit ID in the environment. I can just use now if you have a specific Docker image which you need to build, you can definitely build it from there. But yes, I have a managed image, so I would be just selecting Ubuntu here. So I would be just my operating system in which I want to build is Ubuntu image standard, and I would be just selecting the latest version of my image. Fine, build spec file. So there is a build spec file. Now, from where this build spec file and what exactly is this build spec file? Now, this build spec file is the specification file, a YAML file which is there. Now, what does this build spec file will do for you? This build spec file would be giving you, okay, this build spec file would be giving you, or would be, it has the steps to create and build a project, okay? It just has the steps to create and build the project for you. Now, you can just use it. So I have this particular file with me. So if I go to code build, I have this specification file with me. So what I can do is I can download it. I can open it and I will show it to you. Just open this, and this is how my build spec will look like. So again, it shows runtime version, which node latest one. And what does it say? That it will filter congratulations and index.html. So this is a simple file which says that if congratulations is there in my index.html, then only it will be building it. Otherwise, it will not be building the code. Fine, I will just come back here. Okay, I will just copy Control A, Control C this. I will just add this file into the repository. I will just say build spec.yml. Okay, now let me create a project. I will not be making any kind of changes other than this, and I would be just creating a project, the build project. So now when you are creating the build project, in that case, it will not be building it. When you check it out, no, you will get an error here. When you check it out, you will see the error coming up. The reason for the same is because it is not able to build that particular code. It will not be able to build the code. So yes, view the entire log here. You can check the log as well in the CloudWatch, but it's fine. We can just come to this point at the build project, and we can see after some time you will see an error coming up at this point. Okay, there would be some error coming up at this particular point. So let's wait for the error to come up. Yeah, it's failed. It's failed because again we have not specified the, it is not able to find where exactly is your build spec file. We have not uploaded it anywhere right now. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to go to the source. In the source, we will just click on this test repo1 and add a file, and I can just create a file rather than uploading. I will be just creating the file. Okay, and I will just say build spec.yml. You can even upload the file. There is no problem in doing that as well. I will just put my name. I will put my email ID, and this is like created build spec file. Commit the changes. Now, when you're committing the changes, you will see that build spec file is being created now. Now, if you go to the build and build the project again, build the same project again, let's see what happens now. Start build. So let's see if we are able to build the project or not. Currently, it's build number 2 and the status is in progress, which means my currently build is happening up. It has not been completed yet. Build is currently happening up for me. Yes, now we can see it is now been succeeded. So fine. We will just go to the pipeline again. We will just click on this pipelines and we can just click on this test pipeline. Okay, I would be just editing this pipeline and would be adding a stage which says build. Okay, code build. Add a stage here. When you add a stage, you would be adding an action group. Let's say test action group. Action provider. So action provider is being provided by code build. Region is North Virginia. Input is like artifacts is source artifacts here. My project is the test build which I have created just now. I want to do a single build. Okay, whenever like I have just one build that need to be done, so that's the reason why. If you have multiple builds that need to be done, in that case you can just click on this batch build. Okay, variable name, let's say test variable name if you want to put it, and output artifacts. I would be adding a output artifacts which is test output, and now I will be just clicking on the done. Now after this is done, okay, what I will do is I will be saving this file. Okay, I would be saving this file and I will be releasing the change. Now when I release the change again, it will come to this code commit, then it will do a code build, and then it will deploy. If you want to make, if there is some custom pipeline, you have to add some stages here. You can definitely click on this edit and add the stages as per the requirement and the need of your project. So let it build. Now, after this is being built, we will just wait for it to get deployed. And after this is being deployed, we can say that our work is done and we have completely deployed our particular project via the help of the code pipeline. After waiting for some time, we are basically able to deploy our pipeline. And here we have created the particular code commit. From the code commit, the code is coming for the build. And after the build, it is being deployed to Elastic Beanstalk. So that's all for this particular lab. This is how we actually use the code pipeline and we deploy a particular code into the code pipeline. Thank you.